Okay, hold on. We're like eating matzah
Yeah, matzah.
with the smoked salmon tonight, and we are eating of Yeshua at the same time. Characteristics of being fully human. Go ahead, Adasa.
A person and man,
He's a person and a man.
the most human being that ever lived.
And okay, so stop for a second. Why is that? He's the most human being that ever lived. What do we remember what we talked about just a second ago?
About that, what it means to be human is to reflect our Creator.
Right. Because we're reflections of our Creator, and like Skip Moen talks about, he unpacks that really well. And talks about what it means to be human, and so all of us need to reflect Yeshua, eat of him, so that we know what it means to be a human being, which is, you know, what does it mean to really reflect, to be image bearer? There we go. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
To bear the image of.
Yeah.
So he was the best image of his Father.
Yeah. Best image bearer of his Father. So that's what it means when it says the most human being that ever lived. Okay, Hadassah, what's next?
Happy.
He was happy.
He has blunt sense of humor.
He had a sense of humor.
And blunt and happy.
He was blunt.
And raw emotions of anger, disgust, fragile, and sensitivity.
Fatigue. I think that says fatigue. So he had raw, I don't know if you can see that, but raw emotions of anger, disgust, fatigue, and sensitivity. What else?
He liked people.
Yes, he did. He liked people.
Compassionate.
He was compassionate.
Got exasperated.
Separated.
What was it?
Exasperated?
He got exasperated.
Life affected Yeshua.
That's right. Life affected him.
Knew loneliness.
Oh, like he knew loneliness.
Yeah.
He knew it. Yeah. He nursed just like all babies do. He was genuinely surprised.
Genuinely surprised.
And he feels, he longs, weeps, and laughs.
I think that's it.
That's it? Let's see. How about... And then Yeshua raised is still Yeshua, flesh and bones. I think that's where people have a disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they think
Yeah.
once he was raised, he became something different.
Yeah.
He's still fully human. That's like super important to remember. The stories that we got that from Hadassah. Gethsemane, when he was deeply distressed, anguished, and he begged the Father. He was overwhelmed with sorrow. What about the temptations in the wilderness, where he's hungry? Is there another one there, Das, you see? Can't read it. What about the woman at the well when he was thirsty and tired? Or when John, his cousin, died, remember? And he grieves alone, and then he grieves, and then he goes into a solitary place.
Yeah, you got the list.
Yeah.
And they're 1 through 8.
When he healed, don't tell anyone. Didn't want to sleep in the woods.
That's what, like, John Eldridge talks about.
Yeah.
Because he says that why did Yeshua tell people not to say anything? Well, for one, it wasn't his time yet. But also, he didn't want to have to sleep in the woods sooner than... What about when the centurion, with the story of the centurion, he was surprised and astonished at the faith of the centurion. You don't remember that story? Okay, well. And after the resurrection?
Ate fish to prove he was still human.
Yeah, he ate.
Right.
Just like all humans have to do.
Yeah. Often.
Often, sorry, Isaac didn't get to eat enough today because we were playing.
At the fig tree. Hungry. He was hungry.
He was hungry at the fig tree, that's right.
Yeah.
And then here's what really cool is he was sad that his disciples don't even know him after all. After all the time they were together, he was sad that his best friends didn't know him. So How do we eat of him with this? How does this apply to us? So we're going to eat of him. So we're going to say,
eat of him.
yeah, we're going to say he's fully human.
Yeah.
Knowing that he was fully human, recognizing it, acknowledging that. What does that do for us?
Gives us permission to be fully human.
That's pretty cool. That we don't have to be some monks living up in Tibet and just walk around like life doesn't affect them.
Right.
We can actually be okay with our flesh and blood and figure out how to be okay in our own skin. That's another one that should go on here, I think, is that he was okay in his skin. He liked his own skin. I don't see anywhere where he's trying to change himself or where he's uncomfortable in his own skin.
No, I don't recall any stories like that. Either.
So,
That'd be something.
to be okay in your own skin.
Yeah.
And he made us this way.
Yes, he did. Made us to be human, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay if we're exasperated? Is it okay if we're frustrated or feel lonely or grieve? Or feel, well, obviously it is because he felt that way. And if we're going to be like our Rabbi Yeshua, then it's okay to be like that.
Yeah.
It's also okay to be happy and genuinely surprising good. Okay, that's all for this meal. Buddy, you want some salmon? Buddy smells the salmon. Nope. Buddy, do you want some salmon? Sorry. No salmon for Buddy. Nope, it's for Mommy.
Buddy.
You want some? You do? All right. I'll give you a piece.